Hello, hello, good evening. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I was thinking about rock and roll heroes and what they mean. I mean, we love rock and roll heroes because they're cooler than us, they're smarter than us, they're richer than us, and we all love them, right? Wrong. I mean, let's put it in perspective. I don't want to name names, but say James Bond, you know? What good is James Bond without Goldfinger, or Dr. No, or Pussy Galore? He's just a suave, boring guy in a tux with a nitpicky drink order that likes to say his name a lot, you know? Bond, James Bond. Hey, Bond, James Bond, buddy. And in 1969, that was essentially what had happened to rock. All heroes, no villains. And you're thinking, well, what about Jerry Lee Lewis? What about Keith Richards? Badass motherfuckers, to be sure, but not villains. But then, in 1969, a very special event happened. It was in Venice, California, at the Cheetah Club, where a new band, Alice Cooper, appeared on stage. You say that now, but not in 1969, because that show is famous for the fact that within 5 minutes, they cleared the room. They told me the story themselves. It's true. They cleared the room. Everyone hated them, except one man. Now, I see John Densmore brought a prop, and so did I. I figured that was a very intense moment in rock history, so I wanted to act it out for you. But I need my script. Hold on. The one man who saw the beauty, and that was Frank Zappa. Exactly. Who else? So Frank went up to that band, said, "I'm going to sign you to my label. I don't like you. I don't understand your music. You're so freaky, I don't get it. Are you on drugs?" Which Alice said, "No, not on drugs." I don't know, maybe he wasn't. And then Frank asked, "Hey, where are you from?" "Phoenix, Arizona." Well, I guess Phoenix, Arizona was all Frank needed to hear, because right after that, he signed him to his label. The rest is rock history. I mean, they went on at that point to become the most rock star destroying band of all time. Nobody could understand. They took everything to a new level. They even tried to explain it in their own songs. There's this one song, "Be My Lover," where the lyrics go, "She asked me why the singer's name was Alice. I said, 'Listen, baby, you just wouldn't understand.'" As my mom would say, which one's Alice? Is it she? Is she the one that's Alice? Anyway, they were more than a band. They were more like a murderous gang of drag queens, say. In a good way. That's good. But their mission was, as they would say it themselves, was to destroy the hippies' dreams of peace, love, and understanding. And to quote them, all they wanted were Ferraris, switchblades, and blondes. Or maybe Rolls Royces too, I don't know. In fact, they knew how, the villains know how to party. And even Jim Morrison wrote about it. He would sing, "I woke up this morning and I got myself a beer," which is a line he stole from Alice, when Alice was just explaining his morning ritual. And Jim thought, wow, hardcore. Anyway, the Alice Cooper band was glam rock before anyone thought of glam rock. They were punk rock before anyone thought of punk rock. In fact, Johnny Rotten auditioned for the Sex Pistols by singing an Alice Cooper song. So, what are you gonna do? I mean, everywhere I turn, someone references them. I mean, Rocky Horror Picture Show, the main reference was Alice Cooper. Everything's Alice Cooper. I mean, they were just basically Emma Peel meets Baby Jane under the guidance of Dr. Frankenstein. I can't think of any other way to describe it. Even for a fourth grader, I remember, I worshipped Alice Cooper. And a brief little story, it's fourth grade, little art fair at the local public library. Everybody had to paint a picture of somebody they admired. They figured, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, whatever, boring. I painted a portrait of Alice Cooper with the words "Love it to death" and blood dripping down the side. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Well, it got yanked out of the art show and made the paper front page, you know, sick kid loves Alice Cooper or something. So Alice, thanks for the early press. I appreciate that. Anyway, of course, Alice Cooper did one thing that I think people forget he did. He invented the rock show. Before Alice Cooper, there was not a rock show. He invented the rock show. I could list all the things that he did, but I'd be here all night, but dancing skeletons, boa constrictors, guillotines, hangings, electric chairs, black widows, dead babies, balloons filled with money, blizzards of bubbles, confetti, chickens with machine guns, nurses, platform boots, tuxedos, blah, 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 blah. And the makeup, the iconic makeup. Oh, yeah. He also did a thriller of a track with Vincent Price long before Michael Jackson ever thought of it. Just to stick it in there. Anyway, I wouldn't be here talking about Alice Cooper if it was just a stage show. You know, stage shows get old, outrage fades, and last year's freak show is this year's award show. But within that, a man would come along who is sort of as George Martin was to the Beatles, this man would be to Alice, and that's Bob Ezrin. Bob, where are you? Bob, you've been bugging me all night. Where'd you go? In a short period of time, they would just crank out amazing platinum record after amazing platinum record, hit after hit, that became more than hits. They became anthems, teenage anthems. Everything was an anthem. School's Out, 18, No More Mr. Nice Guy, Under My Wheels, on and on and on. By that point, 1974, it was impossible to ignore these sick things, and their place in rock history was already rock solid. But I still remember seeing this picture of Alice Cooper leaning at the bar, or maybe leaning on the counter at the Holiday Inn, I'm not sure. And he had a denim jacket that said, "Remember the Coop," embroidered on the back. Well, 40 years later, 50 million records later, yeah, we fucking remember the Coop, all right. If I could say one more thing, John Lennon once said, before Elvis, there was nothing. Well, before Alice Cooper, there wasn't a hell of a lot else. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Alice Cooper!